On a stormy and rainy night, the small town of Hollowbrook sat nestled between the darkened hills. The wind howled, and rain pounded on windows like impatient ghosts seeking entry. The townspeople huddled in their homes, seeking refuge from the tempest outside. In a secluded cottage on the outskirts of Hollowbrook lived Emma, a young woman known for her solitary nature. Emma was an artist, and the rain often served as her muse. But tonight, the storm was different. The rain's rhythm had transformed into an eerie melody that sent shivers down her spine. As the night deepened, Emma felt a strange unease settle in her chest. Unable to ignore the persistent feeling, she decided to paint the unsettling scene outside her window. Her brushstrokes flowed like her emotions, capturing the darkness and turmoil of the storm. As she painted, she began to hear whispers beneath the rain's relentless patter. The voices were faint, like echoes of forgotten secrets. At first, she dismissed them as figments of her imagination, but their persistence grew. It was as though the rain itself was carrying a hidden message, one that only those who dared to listen could hear. Curiosity drove Emma to venture outside, despite the storm's fury. Clutching her lantern tightly, she walked towards the old oak tree that stood at the edge of her property. The tree's twisted branches seemed to reach out like skeletal fingers, beckoning her closer. With each step, the whispers grew louder and more distinct. She strained to decipher the words, and finally, a chilling realization washed over her. The voices were telling a story, a tale of tragedy and longing, of a love lost to the ages. Emma's heart raced as she realized that the voices were not mere whispers but the echoes of souls trapped between the realms of the living and the dead. The oak tree, it seemed, was a vessel for their stories, a conduit for their unfinished business. As she stood there, the rain falling like tears around her, the voices became clearer. They told of a forbidden love between a young woman and a man from a rival village. Their love had been secret, their meetings under the cover of night, much like the storm outside. But their happiness had been short-lived. One fateful night, their clandestine rendezvous were discovered, and they were torn apart. The young man was banished, and the young woman, heartbroken, took her own life beneath the very oak tree that now held their whispered stories. Emma listened, her heart heavy with the weight of their tragic tale. The rain had turned into a mournful symphony, the wind a chorus of sorrowful wails. The voices begged for release, for someone to hear their story and grant them the peace they had been denied for so long. With tears in her eyes, Emma vowed to help them find their rest. She returned to her cottage and began to paint, using her art to bridge the gap between the living and the departed. As her brush danced across the canvas, the voices seemed to grow stronger, as if they were finally being heard. As dawn broke and the storm subsided, Emma's painting was complete, a hauntingly beautiful depiction of the tragic lovers beneath the oak tree. And with its completion, the voices finally fell silent, their stories told, their souls at peace. From that day on, the rain's melody no longer held the same eerie quality. Instead, it was a reminder of the voices that had been heard, the stories that had been shared, and the souls that had found release on that rainy night in Hollowbrook. And Emma, forever changed by the experience, continued to paint, giving voice to the stories that had been silenced by time and tragedy.
If you like the video, then hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more videos.